Listen. Let me start this statement off by saying welcome to the show. Here to put you up on topics that you really need to know. Live and center from the Ville, I introduce the coolest host. Y.C.S.W.U, the DJ, got you ready, good to go.
Yo, what's happening? Welcome back to a brand new episode of You Can't Sit With Us Radio, featuring myself, as always, L.M.Vicious, aka the kid that never sold dope, aka Happy Gilmore, and the one and only, the smooth Q, the DJ, man. What's going on?
Come again?
Yeah, Happy Gilmore, man.
What was that?
I don't know. That's one of my favorite movies.
Really?
Yeah, Happy Gilmore.
Why is Happy Gilmore your favorite movie?
Well, because for one, when I was young, I used to be a golfer.
Huh?
Yeah. Right.
You know, so do you golf now?
No.
You want to know, normally, if you think about it, people usually start golfing at the later part of their life.
No, I was
instead of starting at the beginning and then not doing it anymore.
Yeah, I was early. Yeah.
When did you start golfing?
Man, that was early. I can't remember. That was a long time ago.
Why you put the sticks down?
Man, I was playing in tournaments a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got out of them, so it just kind of faded away.
Was it too much for you? Was it overwhelming?
Man, I was killing them tournaments, man.
You got trophies?
Yeah, I got trophies. Of course I do.
Hey, no, you gotta show the pod trophies, because I don't believe it unless I see trophies.
Hey, I got some, man. I got some. I was close to getting a hole-in-one a couple times, man. I got a hole-in-one on putt-putt, though. Putt-putt, though. I was killing putt-putt, though.
On putt-putt?
Yeah, putt-putt.
Okay, I feel you.
What you listen to a new Beyonce album yet?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm not a big pop Beyonce fan, honestly. So I can listen to it and I can tell you that it sounded like great music. Took a L.
Yeah, right. Good.
But yeah, I would say the Beyonce album was definitely dope when I played it. Like, I listened to it and I was like, oh, I could see why people would enjoy this. It's just not for me.
Mm-hmm. I ain't checked it out yet.
Are you gonna check it out? Cause it's not Mary J, so I know you might be like, nah, I don't want to hear it.
Nah, I don't know. We'll see. I might.
Yeah, it's definitely if you're into that kind of music, for sure. You're gonna it's tough in its own like for what it's supposed to be. It was that. if I could say, but just for me, I'm not running this back in the whip, because I think this is for the women. Like, I think this is for them.
Okay.
So yeah. Did
you end up buying you a Powerball ticket, a Mega Millions ticket?
I did buy. I bought, like, I don't know what I was doing. I bought like $20 worth of those tickets. So I think it was like 10 of them, and I bought those 10, and I won nothing. So it went right in the trash. It's fine.
Man, you pulled the DJ Khaled, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Man had like 50 tickets. I was like, sit your rich ass down.
No, and I mean, it's odd enough. I mean, I probably do that every time one of these big raffles come around. I usually don't expect to win, but I'm just like, people be forgetting that you can still kind of win, like, just off numbers if you don't got the whole thing. So I'm like, give it a shot.
What, like 4 numbers, 5 numbers?
Yeah, no, you can, if you just got the last number in a row and one of the numbers, you can win something.
$2?
Yeah, $2, but you win something. Hey, it's something.
Man, get you a cold drink with. All right, man. Hey, so let's get to it. As always, we keep the most amazing, talented, dopest, spectacular guests on the show, and today is like no other, man. We got AQ, man. We got a singer on the show, man. Not with an I, man, with an A.
Ooh, man. Talk to him.
Hey, man. Hey, man. She got, man. Hey, EP Garden go crazy. I was doing the the Jay-Z head about me.
Yeah,
I was doing that, man.
You had the ugly face with
it. Hey, man, we got the multi-talented Millie Roze on the show with us today. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to be here. Yes.
Cool. How your Sunday treating you? We always have people pod on Sundays, and I feel like Sundays are the days that a lot of people rest.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I feel you.
Self-care, all that stuff. Find things I like to do, or work on my music, or just grounding on Sundays.
I feel you. Well, let's just get straight into it. If you could tell the people just a little bit about you and who you are and what you do, and just kind of give them a little background on you.
Yes, I am a singer, songwriter, producer. I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I moved here. I moved here when I was about 6 or 7. We picked Music City. My mom plays guitar, and she's always loved music and was inspired by music a lot growing up. So she picked Nashville, Music City. We came here. It was a little hard starting on our feet, getting up and running, getting things going. So for that first, I would say, year of my life, we were just trying to find the best schools, trying to pay rent, trying to make ends meet.
Trying to get it.
Yeah, and I was fortunate enough to get involved in like choir and like some music classes in the like public school. And then a little bit later in life, I would say maybe about 2 to 3 years later, we found a newspaper article for W.O. Smith Music School. If you know, Nashville has grown as far as like teaching music, and this was different because it helped young children that may not have been able to fully pay for like music lessons, because they could be like super expensive. And they worked with you to kind of find your budget and like what you could pay for. And I went there for piano and voice. And it was very enlightening and definitely taught me a lot, and I was fortunate enough to be able to learn music theory there. Fast forward a few more years, I met 2 young girls named Courtney and Fantasia, K.O. McCoy, and she's doing amazing right now. She's also working with YOCO Radio. She's a radio host. And then Fantasia Thomas, Fancy J, she's an artist here in Nashville. But we met, I would say, when I was like a teenager. And we decided to start a singing group. And we were inspired by, TLC and Destiny's Child and all those things. And I would say that was kind of what got me to know more about the music industry. Like, how does it work? First time in the studio, writing a song. Like, it's different when you're just, wanting to do music, play piano or in class. But when you actually get put into that environment around producers, and you're having to kind of learn more about music business as far as like what's publishing, what is all this stuff. So we did a few shows here in Nashville. We did some stuff in Atlanta. A little bit later, fast forward, I'm just kind of taking you through the timeline as fast as I can.
Take us on a trip.
Yeah. I would say about late high school, I decided I really wanted to learn more about the production side. I wanted to know what was going on in the system. Like, when somebody's making a song for me and producing the song, like, what is EQ? What is compression? Like, what is all this stuff? I want to be able to talk the lingo and know what's going on.
Right.
And so I decided to go to college for audio production. During that time, the group, we went our separate ways. We're still best friends today. But we decided to kind of take our journey on like solo careers and what we wanted to do as far as like building our businesses separated. You know all that stuff. So
right.
So yeah, I went to the Art Institute for audio production, and then that was when my solo career like manifested. I decided I wanted to do R&B pop music. And I really wanted to learn how to produce myself and produce my own compositions. Yeah. Fast forward. Here we are, many, many years later, and I've released 2 self-produced EPs, and a few other self-produced like singles.
Emphasis on self-produced. Man, I gotta clap it up for that, because self-produced is fire.
Thank you. It's definitely a learning experience. I love just like going in and learning how to like, comp vocals, do vocal production, like stacks. I was always very inspired by Brandy because of her harmonies and her stacks. So like going in there and layering things and, piecing things together to make a song. I have done a lot of collaboration here in Nashville, worked with a lot of songwriters and different producers. So I still love doing that, having that other eye, that other ear with you to create a piece of music is great. So yeah, that's a little journey. Just a fast forward,
No, I appreciate that for sure, because you kind of took us on the trip of just where you were and where you are now. So that was perfect.
Thank you.
So I guess I'll kind of start to where you know, you talked about you and your mom kind of, you know, picking Music City to come to.
Yes.
Her playing guitar at the time, and I believe you said you were singing majority of the time.
Yeah.
At that point. So, was that the time that you figured out that you wanted to be an artist?
Yes. I remember being about 6 or 7. It was like shortly after we moved here to Nashville, and she purchased me a Barbie karaoke machine. And of course it had like Britney Spears songs and like Christina Aguilera songs. It was like early 2000s, y'all, okay?
Yeah.
That's showing my age a little bit. And it also had a setting on there where you could just play the instrumental and then write your own songs to it. And so I would just play like the beats on that Barbie karaoke machine and write my own songs to it. And I think it was like right then and there where I realized, oh, I could actually do this myself. You know, I can, you know, craft out my own songs. And I was also watching, you know, TV and watching these singers, you know, do their thing on stage, and it was very inspiring to me, and I really wanted to do that and have that energy. Yeah,
I feel it.
So what else instruments are you playing?
Right now, mostly just piano. I did dabble a little bit in guitar and flute, but I didn't stick too long. But I definitely want to go back to trying to learn guitar soon, because my mom's always like, I play guitar, why won't you let me teach you guitar? Like, all y'all guitar players, like, it just hurts your fingers that you got to get through that callus stage where you're playing, and then once they callus up, you're good. But I haven't been able to get past the callus stage. It just hurts too bad.
I feel that.
Is music theory like real hard to learn?
No, I wouldn't say it's really hard to learn. It's hard to remember. You gotta keep reminding yourself about things. Like, I haven't went and looked at like sheet music and played piano to sheet music in so many years. So if like I go back and do that now, I wouldn't really remember too much. I'd have to reteach myself. So it's like, it's those small things. But other music theory, you know, modalities I've kind of kept in there that kind of stick, you know, about piano and falsetto, how to build songs, and the bass, the treble, all that stuff, you know. Yeah.
So of course I'm going back to, you know, just kid time.
Yeah.
At that point, because I think that's super important. So how old were you when you moved here?
About 6 years old.
Okay.
Something like that.
Do you think that because although you were still young, you were kind of changing to a completely different place, you know, and that can be different for some people, whether you're old, young. How did that feel for you?
It was really hard on me because all of my family at the time lived in Milwaukee. So like I was mostly around my cousins like on a daily basis. Yeah. My dad, my aunt, and I really didn't have any other younger sibling family members anywhere else. It was just my 2 cousins. Yeah. And so when we moved away from them, I had nobody to play with all of a sudden. Yeah. You know, using your creativity, imagination, all that stuff. I had nobody to do that with. So I had to learn how to really just entertain myself and find things to do. Yeah. Yeah. And I remember I had, I feel like we found it at a pawn shop. It was this like tape recorder. It's like an old school tape recorder. You put tapes in. And I would sit there on the microphone and like sing songs, and I would pretend to talk to them. And this sounds so sad. I know. I wish I had these tapes today.
Nah, this is important stuff.
I just knew one day that I would take the tapes and like mail it off to them to tell them like how much I miss them and tell them what I'm doing. So today, y'all, you know, I'm cooking, you know, a grilled cheese sandwich, and I'm trying to, you know, I was telling them what I was doing throughout the day. I don't know where those tapes are. They're gone. Like.
That would have been an awesome memory to have.
Yeah, I know, honestly. But yeah, it was something to go back to. It was hard on me, but once I found friends here and got started in school, and got involved in the music, you know, I was busy and I wasn't thinking about it as much anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think your mom So your mom played guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Was that something that kind of kept her busy, or was she like working a lot? Do you think that you and your mom like got to spend a lot of time as a kid?
Yeah, so playing the guitar for her was more of a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
She hadn't really ventured out professionally to do it, because she was, working and
Yeah.
raising me and finding other things. So she finds value in just doing it for fun and for play, but she's really good at it. Like, I have on a Jimi Hendrix today, and I always think of my mom when I think of Jimi Hendrix, because she calls herself like the female Jimi Hendrix. Like, she's so inspired by him. Yeah. So she, like, I grew up listening to like Led Zeppelin, Pat Benatar, and Jimi Hendrix, and those like rock, and yeah, that's her all day.
I feel you. What might have been something that you might have taken from her, just like you, maybe not even so much just as artistry, but just as a person?
Yeah, I would say it was, when it comes to playing an instrument or when it comes to being creative, you don't have to do it as like it doesn't have to feel like a job.
Yeah.
I guess, because she never treated it like that. And so I never got to see it in that light. I only got to see it in a playful light. Like, I love doing this, it's so fun. And so I go back to that point when I'll kind of feel like it's a job or tedious. Like, I gotta finish this mix today. I'll be like, no, this is fun, this is play. I get to be creative. And I'll go back to that mindset that she held. Like, sometimes she would just pick her guitar up and be like, all right, and I'd stay with a friend or something. She's like, all right, I'm gonna go play at the karaoke night. And she'd take her guitar with her, and she just asked them to go on stage and go up there and like play for random people just because she wanted to do it, and she wasn't getting paid for it. Yeah, she didn't care about getting paid. She would just want to go play.
That's fire. You can tell her heart was in it then.
Yeah, exactly. Like having your heart in it.
Yeah.
So you had imaginary friends growing up?
I did for sure. I feel like that's what kind of kept my imagination and kept that creativity going. Like, children need that. They need imagination. Like, really, adults, we need that too. I wouldn't say imaginary friends, but we got to keep our imagination going so we're able to be creative. Yeah.
You remember their names?
No, I don't. That would be funny if I did that.
So you were only child?
Pretty much. And the reason I say that is because I do have a sister.
Okay.
But we didn't grow up together.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. So in your household, you were more like, even though you weren't an only child, it was, you kind of got the same experience.
Yeah, it was just me and my mom.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's helped you as a, like, how do you feel like that's changed you as a person? Like, do you think that you saw life differently compared to people who weren't maybe the only child?
Yeah, it definitely got lonely at times, but it taught me independence. And it taught me how to sit with myself and how to be alone with myself. Like, what do I finding things to do?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just gonna sit here today. I'm gonna go do this or I'm gonna go do that. I wasn't at that time having to rely on being around others. So I feel like that has definitely helped me a lot in my adult life too, is learning how to sit with yourself a little bit.
Boy, is that important.
Yeah,
as you get older.
Talk to yourself.
Yeah,
seriously.
I had to learn that first moving here. Like, I moved when I was, I don't know, 22, 23, and it's like you got to learn how to do stuff with nobody. You ain't got no friends yet, so it's like, what can you do?
Yeah, for sure.
So what's your producer choice like? Do you do Logic, Pro Tools, or what do you go to?
Yes, Pro Tools is my go-to. That's my baby. But I have recently downloaded Logic, and I've been doing production in that. I don't do vocals in it though.
Okay. So
anytime I'm mixing or recording vocals, I'll switch from Logic to Pro Tools. Yeah.
And why is it though? Because I heard a lot of people say that.
Yeah, it's just, for me personally, it's what I've always used, and it's easier for me when it comes to vocal stacking and like putting harmonies together. Like, it's quick. I can just boom, 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 pan them, mix them. Like, it's just more user friendly.
Yeah, you ain't lying. All right. Yeah, All right, so let's get into your first song. Talk about 95.
Yes, I just released a single called 95. It was produced in my home studio. I've actually been sitting on that song for a little while. I didn't really know what to do with it because I wasn't fully happy with the second verse when I recorded it. So I just put it in my file and I was like, I'm just going to leave it here. I would say a little bit after the pandemic, I started to go through all my stuff that I had just like sitting there. I was like, I'm going to just start grabbing this stuff, see what it was. And I realized, I was like, you know what if I put a feature on this? I've never released a song with a feature. And so I came across an artist named Bryce Green, super talented artist, doing a lot in Nashville, has done a lot with Sync, got his stuff on, TV, film, and things. And I hit him up and was like, hey, I have this song and I have the second verse. There's nothing on it. Would you want a feature on it? Would you want to try to, put something on there? I sent it to him. He sent it back and I was like, wow, this is the song. This is what it was missing. And then I, at the end of it, decided to add an extended ending to it and put crystal singing bowls. So there's a heart chakra bowl throughout the song and towards the end. And it has kind of an affirmation at the end and like a very drawn out thing because I really wanted to, over the past year, which is crazy, I never thought I'd be here or say that I'm putting crystal singing bowls and working with frequencies. But about a year ago, I realized that I wanted to include certain frequencies, include affirmations, include things people could feel in my music. And so that was added at the end later on. Yeah.
Why haven't you never featured somebody?
I don't know. Honestly, it just never has happened. It's never worked out. I featured on things with other people, but it just never has.
She worked pretty damn hard. Like, if you think about it, like, you do everything on your music, you produce it all, you don't have features, like, you do it all.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I have worked with, like, I would say it's kind of a feature. Like I did a whole EP with a producer here in Nashville, producer and writer named Rioville. It was one of my first EPs that I put out, and it was self-titled. So I would say that's kind of like featured a little bit. He's throughout it. He's on it. He produced the whole thing. I didn't produce it. I did write with him on there. So yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it counts.
Right. I'm gonna just let you introduce the song.
Okay, 95?
Yeah.
All right. This is my song 95 featuring Bryce Green.
Yeah, we'll be right back on YouCan'tSitWithUsRadio.
Don't feel great if we were riding top down, wind in our face, driving real fast, nothing in view. With the music up loud, it's our debut. And all I wanna see is headlights. And all I wanna do is spend the night with you. Keep driving till we see the daylight. I don't want a destination, I just wanna go with you. Take me 95. 95, take me 95, 95, and now 95, 95, take me 95, 95, and now I wanna go fast, take me 95, 95, and now
with the eyes. Whatever you doing, that shit working like a 9 to 5. Leave that ass in ruins, all that flirting, baby, what's the odds? You and me right here, like hit it like this. Headlights in traffic, head ain't like give you a slight fix. Nightcap, no capping, girl, forever's what you might risk. This ain't no game, girl, it's magic. Checking out this way like you had. Yeah.
And all I wanna see is headlights. And all I wanna do is spend the night with you. Keep driving till we see the daylight. I don't want a destination, I just wanna go with you. Take me 95, 95. Take me 95, 95. 95, 95. Take me 95, 95. I wanna go fast. Ascension so high, up high, I wanna go high with you. Ascension so high, I wanna go high with you. Ascension so high, ascension so high. We're love and we're aligned, we're love and we're aligned. We are ascending, ascension.
So, Millie, so you record everything yourself? You got your own home studio?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Did you used to record at County Q Productions?
I did.
Okay, because I used to intern there.
You did?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it was around the time, that was years ago. It was like when I was in college. That's how I found out about you, because I actually helped Rio out a few times in the studio, so yeah.
Yeah, so I worked on that, what I was mentioning a little earlier, that first EP that I had released. It was self-titled, and the full thing was produced by him. So we were recording that EP at County Q Studios at the time. Yep.
Okay. That's cool. So your garden EP. So
Yes.
what is the garden signify?
Yeah, so it's two things. The first thing is creatively, I feel like we are all, I don't know if that,
Yeah,
it's okay. Okay. So it's two things. So it's creatively, I feel like we all have a garden that we can nurture and water and take care of creatively. And through that, it can grow. And we'll be able to also share it with others. So when you think of a garden, it's something that you grow, and others can come and pick fruit and vegetables and all that stuff. So I was thinking of it in a way of, this is something that I am creating, but I'm also giving and sharing with others. And then also it represents the mind in a way, and how our mind is kind of like a garden, you know. We water it through our thoughts and through what we creatively manifest. Yeah.
I feel it. So what made you want to do everything?
Great question. Yeah.
I
love it.
I mean, because like if we think about it, just as an artist in general, I mean, I feel like just writing the music and recording it is a task in itself. But you write it, you record it, you produce it, you do everything for yourself.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I just wanted to see if I could do it. Yeah, seriously. The first time, it's like, I just want to see if I could do all this. I wanted to challenge myself. I like challenging myself.
Yeah.
I also am I love knowledge. Like, I'm a knowledge seeker. I've realized that about myself. Like, I just want to learn and know what's going on. That's it. And I've kind of also had to ask myself, you know, the control aspect. Am I just trying to like control everything? Am I just trying to like do everything? And I've realized no, because it's really stressful, y'all, to have to like do everything. And there's times when I'll ask myself, do I want to do all this, or do I just want to like see if I can find somebody else to try to come in and mix this one? And then I'm like, no, I want to see if I can do it. You know, I always go back to that. And then I realize at the end, once I challenge myself and sit there and it's hard and I'm, you know, beating myself up about it, and if I actually follow through and do it, I end up liking the result. And I'm like, the feeling of that, of wow, I did it. I was doubting myself, but I did it. That's the feeling that I end up chasing, because I know that I'll get to that point if I just stick to it and try to do it myself. Yeah, but I'm ready to collab. You know, I'm ready.
So just to kind of tie into that, so I would imagine that being an artist, just being an artist in general, but being someone that does it all, that probably takes up a lot of time in your life. Like,
it does,
from you doing other things or forming relationships with others or just whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
So how do you manage that all?
Yeah, it's difficult for sure. It's hard. The best way is to prioritize. Once I prioritize certain things, I'm able to kind of navigate and figure out what's most important. But I would say if I am focusing on like one thing, like for example, I am independent, so I'm doing all my own marketing and trying to figure all that out. And then that takes me away from the creative side.
Yeah.
You know, I this week have actually been struggling with that because I just released a song and I'm doing my own marketing. But I have, you know, reached out, and I am working on trying to work with other marketing companies. It just hasn't got there yet. And I have been pulled away from songs I want to finish. And so this week I've been like, man, I can't wait to go in there and finish this song. I have so many ideas. I just haven't had a chance to go in there and sit down and do it yet. So I am in the process now of hoping that and like sitting with myself and writing out plans of how I can just solely focus on the creative aspect a little bit more, and find people that can come in and kind of help me with those things, because like marketing is just like the TikTok and Instagram, like y'all y'all can have it.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
For real.
Yeah, you don't even see your friends post no more.
Yeah, nah, it's just too much stuff in general. I can't even keep up with it. I've been wanting to take our pod to the next step so long, trying to like make it to TikTok, but I'm like, yo, this is just so much.
It is.
It's so much.
It's too many.
Yeah,
For sure.
Oh, so have you ever thought about getting into rapping? You ever thought about rapping before?
I have not. I have not.
Throw some bars out there?
I've tried it, because I remember when I think the closest I've gotten to rapping on a song was the song that I did release from the EP with Rioville, and the song is called Black Dress. It's out now. You can go listen to it. And on the bridge, he was like, it'd be so cool if you were like rapping right here. So that was like my take on rapping. That's the most you're gonna get out of me. For real.
we need to run that back.
Yeah.
So do you think that you've missed out on things like that you? So how old are you right now? Or give me a like a close.
A close?
Yeah.
Late 20s.
Late 20s. Okay, cool. So do you feel like
1900s?
Yeah, that cool, fine.
Yeah,
that works just perfectly for me. So do you think that just doing everything that you do is taking you away from experiencing things, like just stuff that people your age will go through? Like maybe, you know, you might see people out partying or, you know, whatever. Just do you think that takes you away from that stuff?
It used to. So like I would say, like when I was in the group, and then early in life when I was doing like trying to find my solo career and find my path, I was like so caught up in the chase of it, and so caught up in like the music business aspect, and it, like being an artist can feel like you're running a race sometimes. You know, like there is no finish line. Everybody trying to find this finish line, but we're all racing to be the best. Like I was caught in the race a little bit. And then it did take me from experiencing some things and take me away from life a little bit. But now I'm at a place where I don't let it do that. I try to find balance, and just being able to have those boundaries as well, and saying no, and not being afraid to, or feel like you're going to feel bad if you're not going to do something.
Right.
That was the fear of missing out. That too was like I had that bad. So yeah.
I feel that. What do you plan to do next? Like what do you have, or do you have like a certain skill that you want to master, or something that you want to add to, just not like what you're doing next, like next song or whatever, but just you as an artist? Do you have like goals or anything that you're setting, that you're working towards?
Yeah, so right now I'm working on educating myself more about the frequency aspect of music and how that affects our bodies. Because I, like, over the last year went down this rabbit hole of like, okay, wait, music is vibration, music is frequency. And then I was introduced to like meditation and crystal singing bowls, and I realized those are tuned to certain frequencies. Like people will go do meditation practices and listen to these certain frequencies that are really affecting certain parts of your body. So I was like, wait a minute, there's music out here that's frequency. How come I've never asked the question of what was it doing to my body or my emotions when I listened to it? And I realized, I was like, oh no, there's some songs I listen to and it makes you feel something. or you go out and it makes you want to dance because it's literally at that certain frequency. It's like, well, what about my music? I'm responsible now to kind of understand and know how it's going to affect the listener in a deeper level, like not just the words. So I'm now I'm working with singing bowls, sound bowls, and frequency. I work a lot with the frequency of 432 hertz and 528 hertz. There's a lot of information online about it, about where it affects you and your body and your emotions, and how it can kind of like help clear you in a way, and raise your vibration. And I'm also doing sound bowl therapy and meditation classes as well.
Was that difficult to get into?
It wasn't difficult at all. No, it felt natural. It's weird. It's almost like I was, like, we're meant to kind of be in that lane a little bit, like holistically, or like I was kind of meant to think that way. And it's kind of all, when I think about it, there was breadcrumbs throughout my life that's kind of led me to this, and I never would have thought I'd ever be into this at all. It was just like a light bulb went off one day, and it's like, hey, this is a thing. Learn about it. Okay.
How long you been doing it?
About a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, not too long.
So you started during the pandemic?
Yeah, it was shortly after the pandemic. I was working on the Garden EP, and I already had the songs picked out pretty much. And then that was when I was introduced to that, and I was like, what? I have to rethink all this now. You know? And it's crazy that I really didn't have to realign it. It was really already aligned that way somehow. And I was like, wow. It's almost like I was guiding myself throughout it to get to that, because it kind of went with it. Like the garden and the songs, I realized were in keys of what the frequencies of what the bowls that I had had got some bowls that were certain frequencies, and so it was easy to kind of adjust it and maneuver it in a certain way at the end. It was crazy, y'all. Crazy synchronicity for sure.
Do you ever have performance anxiety?
Oh yeah, I used to have it bad. I used to have it real bad. I've now gotten over it a little bit, but I still get nervous, still get a little nervous, because it's the fear of like, oh, what if I sing this note wrong? What if I forget the words? Like, we all have those fears and those thoughts, but I've found ways now to combat those fears and try to switch the mindset of, no, but what if it goes right? What if I do it right? And when I focus on that, it always goes smoothly. But back in the day, I used to have it real bad, especially when I was a teenager, like in the group and stuff. Yeah, I have some stories for sure.
Where do you hope to perform?
Oh, everywhere. I am now that I've gotten over that fear, and like I believe, like, and I just love performing again. It's like almost like I had to fall in love with being a performing artist and singing on stage for people. Now that I've gotten to that place, I just want to do shows. I just want to sing for you. I just, like, seriously, and I envision, like stage setups and different things, and I hope to one day get to a point where I'm able to do a tour or able to put on my own shows and kind of have it set up certain ways. Like, I can't wait. I love performing.
I feel that. When's the last time you performed?
The last one I did was at Musician's Corner in Centennial Park. Yes, it was a few weeks ago.
How was that?
Oh, so fun. I've always wanted to do Musician's Corner. So it's like this big, because they block that whole field of Centennial Park out, and they have like food trucks and stuff, and it's all ages and it's free, and they have different artists come perform throughout the day, almost like a festival type vibe. And so I had never done anything like that outside, and my daughter also came, and my family came, and she was out there dancing. She's 3, so it was so cute. And then just to have all ages out there, and everybody's having a good time, and I loved it.
You only produce for yourself, or you produce for other artists?
Right now, I've been mostly doing my own. I have been working with a few other artists with doing my production, but it's mostly been me. Yes. Okay. I hope to venture out more eventually, and I have an opportunity where I might start doing that more coming soon.
You talked about before about you had 2 other friends that you were doing music with.
Yeah.
And y'all are still cool now.
Mm-hmm.
So how was that? Like, I don't know how old y'all were at that time, but like splitting up from music to now not doing that anymore, but we're still friends.
Yeah, I think during the time we were also growing into women. Like, I think I was like 18, 19, and they were the same. Could have been 17. I'd have to go back and look. But, you know, you're growing into a woman. You're, like, coming out of teen and trying to figure out life. So I think that kind of overpowered the feeling of, like, the loss of, like, losing the group. We were all trying to figure out life at the time. And then still being friends, it's almost like we were growing into women together. Yeah. And so that kind of kept us close. Yeah.
And what's your thing to get rid of writer's block?
Yes. To get rid of writer's block now, what I'll do is I'll step away and I'll come out of what I'm doing. And I will try to find something I like to do. So, like, for example, going to grab a cup of coffee real quick, or putting on a show I like, or going outside and doing something fun. You gotta, like, come out of it for a second, and then it'll unblock you, and then you can go back. It's a real thing. Like, writer's block is a real thing.
A lot of people don't think about that.
Yeah.
You heard that Beyonce album?
I did, yeah.
What'd you think about it?
I love it. I think it's different for her, for sure, and I think it's a new era, and yeah.
I feel it. No, because I when I said it was for the women, I got a face, so that's why
I agreed with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, bet. All
yeah,
right, cool.
No, I agree with you for sure.
And just for the listeners, like, I didn't mean that in a bad way or nothing like that, but I think that it was super women empowering.
Yes.
Like, if you listen to the stuff she was saying, like, and her telling the chicks to dance like a thotty, like, that would seem wild, but, like, even in my brain, like, that feels like women empowerment.
Yeah, I feel it was definitely empowering the feminine energy. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I feel that.
Hey, to make sure the beehive won't come from you.
Hey, no cap. You gotta clear that up, because beehive is in there. They pull up on me for sure. And I was a beehive when she did the Dangerously in Love album. That was probably like that was in my top 10 R&B albums of all time, honestly. But I'm not a fan of pop Beyonce, just like where she going now, which I ain't saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's just not for me.
That's
just
okay.
Not for me.
It's all right.
So I think you had, like, your biggest song was "Lonely Summer." Is that what was that success like? I know some years ago, but what was that?
Yes. Okay. That was during a time I was venturing out and working with a lot of different pop producers and writers here in Nashville, and I came across a group named Bio. Consists of Grayson and Sam. It's 2 guys. And their music just was so different than what I had worked on previously. They're definitely like pop. And we did a session together, and we did Lonely Summer and a few other ones. And I was like, I don't want to overthink this. Like, I don't even think, we didn't at the time go back and do, we had the demo vocals, and we didn't even go back in and, like, fully perfect it, but it still sounded good. And we sent it off. He mixed it, and then I sent it off to get it mastered. And I was like, I'm just gonna drop this. Like, I'm just gonna release it. Like, it's just so different. It feels so fun. It's summertime. Like, I have to just release this, like, right now. Yeah. And I had my friend Jamie Bencito. She hand drew up that cover art that you see. Super talented artist. I'm so grateful for her for doing that. So thank you, Jamie. And then so I just released it, and I also sent it out to Submit Hub. If you're an artist, you know what Submit Hub is, and it got declined by, like, almost every blog on there.
For the people who aren't artists, what is Submit Hub?
So Submit Hub is a platform you can mass send out your stuff to different blogs and playlists and see if they pick it up or they like it or not. and they'll write you like honest feedback why. Sometimes it can be like super soul crushing. So like, but yeah, they did on Submit Hub for that one, they just like, it got declined by like almost all of it. And so I was like, man, well, it's okay, I'm still gonna just like put it out. And I dropped it, and the streams on it went crazy. I had tears in my eyes because I was also at the time in the middle of a job situation, and I wasn't financially stable. Like I was kind of like going through it mentally. And it has almost 1 million streams right now. It's my highest streaming song, and it was all organic. It just blew up like that, and I mostly from the UK. Somehow a lot of playlists from the UK picked it up and were putting it on their playlists. And then they picked it up at what's that store? Not American Eagle.
Hollister? Aeropostale?
No, American something. American Outfitters.
Oh, okay.
Picked it up, and they were playing it in their store. It's super grateful, yeah, for Grayson and Sam and that whole experience of that song. It kind of definitely woke me up to playlists. I didn't know like it could help you that much before that.
And I feel like because I'm trying to think of when playlists became popular. Like, because when was that? What year was that?
That was like 2016. It was like right on the brink of that being like a thing, but they didn't have it public to where artists could submit publicly like they have it now. It was just if they did it or not. Now it's like, I'm trying not to say something negative. Now it's like you either have to pay somebody or try to do it yourself and see if they like it.
And just hope it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that.
All right, let's get into your second song, Freedom. Talk about it.
Yes. This is my song, Freedom. It is a self-produced record that I put on my project called The Garden. I worked on this record, let's say a little bit right around when the pandemic had started. I just locked myself away and tried to do it all. I hadn't really fully mixed an EP or a song myself. I'd always just produced it. So it's also mixed by me. And yeah, it's about just finding that freedom within yourself.
All right. Introduce it.
Yeah, this is Freedom. Yes.
We'll be right back on You Can't Sit With Us Radio.
Yes, sir.
This freedom, look into my eyes. I'm so good, you wishing you were me right now. No hope, you prayed on my demise. But I'm armor, you wish you could break through right now. We're burning like ashes, nothing established. Emotional past tense, not holding the baggage. You wanna roll dice, but I don't play that side. Like fire, I ignite, can light a match up twice. And I know there's something about my glow. I play fair, but you're the one that let go. There's good minds and diamonds in my shoes, but you couldn't follow anything through. This freedom, look into my eyes. I'm so good, you wishing you were me right now.
Y.C.S.W.U Radio. So, Millie Rose, it is time for random ass questions.
All right, let's do
These questions have absolutely nothing to do with what we talked about today. Are you ready?
it. Yes.
Right. So, gotta start it off. So you a avid cereal eater?
Not really anymore.
Not anymore. Okay, so you can still ask you this. So when you did eat cereal,
Yes.
did you eat it crunchy as soon as possible, or did you wait for it to sog up a little bit?
Crunchy as soon as possible. I hate soggy cereal. That's why I stopped eating cereal.
An L.
Yeah.
I gotta start tallying up my L's.
That's his
I gotta start tallying them up, and like at the end of the year, I'm gonna start doing reviews. I'm gonna be like, no, this is I lost 37 times on the podcast.
All right. Have you ever been tempted to sleep inside of a fridge?
No. Not at all.
Why not?
There's
What
too
was the
much
question?
stuff in there.
Have
Like
you been,
leftover foods and like, no thanks. I'm good.
Have you been tempted to sleep in the fridge?
To sneak in the fridge,
No, sleep.
sleep in the fridge. Oh,
Yeah, no. Not at all.
All right. Do you think fish have a thirst for water?
Some probably do. Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
All right. Why are they called apartments when they're together?
tell me, I don't know
You
where
know what?
he goes for these.
Because they are going up this way, and I feel like we need to be in grounded. Apartments need to be grounded.
Okay, all right, that works.
They taking us away from
Most
Mother
people
Earth.
don't give you an answer to that one at all, so I'll take it.
All right. Gotta ask this question. Nobody got it right yet. All right. What goes up and down but does not move?
Goes up and down, but does not move. Up and down, but does not move. Waveforms, music.
No.
What?
You want the answer?
Yes.
It's stairs.
Oh.
People are always so
a good
disappointed
one.
in the answer because
I was thinking too deep.
Yeah, hey, no cap, no cap. See, that's what always is so funny about it. Like his questions, like you be going super deep, like like, it's like over my head with this, and then it be something simple. You be like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right. Do you think it's possible to bury someone without a casket
Yes.
if they ask for it?
Yeah. I've watched too many movies like that.
All right. Last question is, do you think angels get high?
Yes. I do. I think they do.
And why is that?
They get high on life and high on vibration, and that's why they are angels. Yeah.
She told you.
All right. You got any questions you want to ask us?
Yes. What are your favorite foods?
Oh, this. Hey, shout out to her. This is the first person somebody asked us a question other than the normal two. Dang, favorite food. So, while as I think on my favorite food, I can tell you that I did try sushi for the first time probably 2 days ago.
How'd you like it?
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, I tried. Now, I did get fried sushi, I won't lie.
It's good though.
Yeah, no, that joint was going crazy. There's a rock and roll sushi. And they had something called like a VIP roll, and it's like crab meat and spicy mayo. It goes nuts. Like, it was insane. I was gonna go get some 2 days in a row. That could eventually become my favorite food for sure. But for now, I guess I'll just say like chicken Alfredo, and when I'm being simple, a PB&J. It does wonders.
Yeah, can't go wrong with PB&J.
Yeah.
Man, you find me a nice little cheese stick. I'm straight. All right, man.
You mean like mozzarella sticks?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, hey, no,
funny.
I'm with you on that. I'm from Wisconsin, damn it. We like cheese.
Hey, man.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, no
It's a
cap.
cheesesteak.
Hey, man. Must be going in. You got any more questions?
When are your birthdays?
Mine is. Why I have to think about it? Mine is February 21st.
Okay.
Mine's May 3rd.
Oh, cool. Nice.
When is yours?
August 22nd. It's coming up.
Yeah, I was trying to think like, damn, what's today? Yeah, we right here.
Yeah.
You got plans for your birthday?
I want to go to Puerto Rico or somewhere tropical. Like that's what we're trying to do right now.
That's fire, and that's fire to be less than a month away and still not be able to decide where you want to go, but it's gonna be somewhere far, and you can still just plan it. That's fire in itself.
It's either that or we'll just drive down to Florida. Cause then you don't have to fly. You could just go to Destin and it's right down there.
That Florida drive really ain't bad, cause I think we did it like last year, and I thought Florida was crazy. Well, when I went there from Milwaukee, it was like a day.
Oh yeah.
It was ridiculous.
From Milwaukee?
Yeah, that drive was insane. But here it's like cool little 6.5. Yeah, I mean you can be on the beach.
Is it the longest drive you've ever taken?
From Milwaukee to Florida, yes, definitely. That was 24. We're talking about doing LA next year, and I think that's a drive too.
Oh yeah, that's a drive. The farthest I think
I know.
See, I drove to New York from here. That was like 14 hours or something like that. Yeah. That's the farthest.
I'm quick to jump on a plane.
Yeah.
I love driving, but once I hit like that 6-7 hour threshold, I'll be like, we gotta think about this. Yes. I still do it, but I don't want to.
Yeah. I drove Dallas back. That was like 10 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, you slow, man. We knocked that out in 8.5. No, I'm just kidding.
I be cruising, right?
Yeah, no, I feel it.
You gotta be careful going through some of those states. You know?
Yeah,
gotta be very careful.
I just didn't like Dallas because it was tolls everywhere.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. I felt like I had like $50 in tolls when they sent me the bill. I think I had like 12. I was like, oh yes, I'll gladly say that.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I went to a rodeo, man. That shit was fun.
A rodeo
in Texas?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a real deal
rodeo.
I
guess if there's any place you would go for a rodeo, it would probably be Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was roping. Was it? Yeah, the roping the cows and stuff. Whatever. Yeah, the bulls.
The bulls.
Wow.
Hey, no, that's nuts. I'll be out there have a panic attack.
Yeah. See, those are the good trips when you go do things you've never done before, never seen. Like that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
that was cool to see.
Yes.
What was your favorite trip? I'm asking you another question, but that's cool.
My favorite trip would be Hawaii. My grandmother lived there, and we went there to visit her, and she toured us around the island. We were in Oahu. It takes about 45 minutes to go around the whole thing. That's it. It's pretty interesting.
But
well, we appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Shout out your social medias. Anything else you want to say?
Yes, my name is Millie Roze. You can check out my music on all social platforms. It's MILLYROZE. Instagram's the same at Millie Roze. Also, please check out my website, millierose.com. There you can find all of my music and past releases. And also, I do the Garden Sound Bath here in Nashville, Mindful Nashville. And we will be returning in September. It is a 45-minute to an hour meditation with crystal singing bowls that I guide. So yes, please come out and see me at one of those.
Hey, is Roze your real last name?
It's not. Great question. It's not.
Well, as always, y'all can catch me on IG, Q the DJ, QUETHEDEEJAY, and on Twitter at the same thing, Ambitious.
Yeah, follow me at Ambitious1K on Instagram and Twitter. That's the number 1, the letter K. You don't know how to spell ambitious, man. Go ask Alexa, go ask Siri, go look it up in the dictionary. They'll get you right. Threshold Brace, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And You Can't Sit With Us Radio on Facebook and Instagram. What's the Twitter?
Y.C.S.W.U Radio, all one word on Twitter. In case y'all didn't know, that's the first letter of each word in You Can't Sit With Us Radio. Please go tap in with us there as well.
Word.